is considered to be part of the basic structure of the Constitution. Further, Article 4 of the Constitution says, when you pass a law under Article 2 and 3, there you have to make changes to Schedule 1 of the Constitution.
Achha.
Because Schedule 1 talks about the name and territory of states and union territories. Schedule 4 talks about the representation of states in Rajya Sabha. So what are you trying to say? Prior to 2014, Schedule 1 would say Andhra Pradesh. Schedule 4 would say that from Andhra Pradesh, 18 MPs would be elected to the Rajya Sabha. Now you have reorganized Andhra Pradesh into Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. That means in Schedule 1, you have to now mention Telangana. That means you have to amend Schedule 1. And in Schedule 4, you have to reduce number of MPs from Andhra Pradesh from 18 to 11. And from Telangana, you have to provide 7 MPs to Rajya Sabha. That means 18 has to be split, 11 for Andhra, 7 for Telangana. That means you have to change Schedule 1, Schedule 4. But Article 4 says these are incidental matters, consequential matters. And that is why they shall not be deemed as amendment to the Constitution. Which means if you want to amend Schedule 1 and Schedule 4 of the Constitution, for that you don't need to use Article 368. For that you don't need a special majority. You can pass a law by simple majority. It should be an ordinary law to change Schedule 1 and Schedule 4. That's Article 4 of the Constitution. Which means, long story short, if the Parliament is using its power under Article 2 and 3, because you are using the power under Article 2 and 3, because you are admitting a new state into the Union of India, or because you are reorganizing an existing state under Article 3, there will be changes to Schedule 1 and Schedule 4. Schedule 1 talks about name and territory. Schedule 4 talks about representation of states in the Rajya Sabha. These changes are supplemental, incidental, consequential matters, and these changes shall not be deemed as an amendment to the Constitution. Which means you don't need to use Article 316.
Right.
Then we come across Part 2 of the Constitution,
Yes, sir.
which deals with citizenship. And listen to me carefully. Part 2 of the Constitution, which deals with citizenship,
Very limited.
from Articles 5 to 11, the real power is with the Parliament.
Yes.
That Parliament, you can enact a law, and through this law, you can regulate all matters related to citizenship. And this power is given to the Parliament under Article 11 of the Constitution. So what does Part 2 deal with? Part 2 deals with citizenship at the time of the commencement of the Constitution. At the time of the commencement of the Constitution, who is a citizen of India? Who cannot be the citizen of India? That's mentioned under Part 2 of the Constitution. What about after the commencement of the Constitution? For that, Parliament will have to enact a law using Article 11. And Parliament has done that by passing a law called the Citizenship Act of 1955. And it is this law which has been amended multiple times, and the last amendment was in 2019, which is what we call the Citizenship Amendment Act of 2019, under which the Parliament said, if you are from Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, and if you have entered India on or before December 31, 2040, and if you belong to the 6 religious minorities of these 3 countries, Hindus, Christians, Buddhists, Jains, Sikhs, Parsis, then you shall not be deemed as a legal migrant. When you are not deemed as a legal migrant, that means you are